Folks, we are live. We are internet famous. Guys, we did it. No, my mic is not muted. I will mute it.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming, or you'll sink like a stone. For the times they are a-changing. Come, writers and critics, prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin. There's no telling who that it's naming. For the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changing. Come, senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. For he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing. Come, mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly ending. Please get out of the new one if you can lend a hand, for the times they are a-changing. The line is drawn, the curse is cast. The slow one now will be later be fast, as the present now will be later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will be later be last, for the times they are a-changing. For the times they are a-changing.
Pickle lovers always insist on the proud pickle. Heinz. No compromise, no shortcuts, no soggy pickle. Heinz stops at nothing to give you a pickle that tastes the way no other pickle does. Crisp, full-bodied, savory. That's what makes Heinz the proud pickle. If you were the best tasting pickle, wouldn't you be proud?
Now, I'm going to show you 3 things, and you've got to tell me what you do with them. Number 1, a pint of Well, you seem to know what to do with that one, all right. Number 2, a handkerchief. Excellent. Remember, coughs and sneezes spread diseases. Now, number 3, a bowl of disinfectant. Hey, you don't drink it, man. That's for the soiled handkerchief, which is full of germs. You put the handkerchief into the disinfectant, which kills the germs and so stops the spread of infection. Now let's get this quite clear. You sneeze into the handkerchief and then put the handkerchief into a bowl of disinfectant to kill the germs. Not in with the family's washing. Got it? Sure? Good. Remember, don't spread germs.
Dum dum, diddle dum dum, diddle dum dum, diddle dum dum. There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered.
He did what we all must learn to do. You
And you
and you and you.
duck and cover.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing. That's what this film is all about. Duck and cover.
This is an official civil defense film produced in cooperation with the Federal Civil Defense Administration and in consultation with the Safety Commission of the National Education Association.
Produced by Archer Productions, Incorporated. Hey, Bert, come on out and meet all these nice people, please. Oh, all right. We really can't blame you. You see, Bert is a very, very careful fellow. When there's danger, this is the way he keeps from being hurt. Sometimes it even saves his life. That's why these children are practicing to duck and cover just as you do in your school. We all know the atomic bomb is very dangerous. Since it may be used against us, we must get ready for it, just as we are ready for many other dangers that are around us all the time. Fire is a danger. It can burn whole buildings if someone is careless. But we are ready for fires. We have a fine fire department to put out the fire, and you have fire drills in your school so you know what to do. Automobiles can be dangerous, too. They sometimes cause bad accidents, but we are ready. We have safety rules that car drivers and people who are walking must obey. Now, we must be ready for a new danger, the atomic bomb. First, you have to know what happens when an atomic bomb explodes. You will know when it comes. We hope it never comes, but we must get ready. It looks something like this. There is a bright flash, brighter than the sun, brighter than anything you've ever seen. If you are not ready and did not know what to do, it could hurt you in different ways. It could knock you down hard or throw you against a tree or a wall. It is such a big explosion, it can smash in buildings and knock signboards over and break windows all over town. But if you duck and cover like Bert, you will be much safer. You know how bad sunburn can feel. The atomic bomb flash could burn you worse than a terrible sunburn, especially where you're not covered. Now, you and I don't have shells to crawl into like Bert the Turtle, so we have to cover up in our own way. First, you duck, and then you cover. And very tightly, you cover the back of your neck and your face. Duck and cover underneath a table or desk or anything else close by. In Betty's school, they are talking about the atomic bomb, too. Betty is asking her teacher, how can we tell when the atomic bomb may explode? And her teacher is explaining that there are two kinds of attack, with warning and without any warning. We think that most of the time we will be warned before the bomb explodes, so there will be time for us to get into our homes, schools, or some other safe place. Our civil defense workers and our men in uniform will do everything they can to warn us before enemy planes can bring a bomb near us. You may be in your schoolyard playing when the signal comes. That signal means to stop whatever you are doing and get to the nearest safe place fast. Always remember, the flash of an atomic bomb can come at any time, no no matter where you may be. You might be out playing at home when the warning comes. Then be sure to get into the house fast, where your parents have fixed a safe place for you to go. If you are not close to home when you hear the warning, go to the nearest safe cover. Know where you are to go, or ask an older person to help you. You know the places marked with the S sign? They're safe places to go when you hear the alarm. If there is a warning, you will hear it before the bomb explodes. But sometimes, and this is very, very important, sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning. Then the first thing we would know about it would be the flash. And that means duck and cover fast, wherever you are. There's no time to look around or wait. Be like Bert. When there is a flash, duck and cover, and do it fast. Here are some older boys showing what to do if the flash comes when you are not in the classroom. This is what to do if you should be in a corridor. You duck and cover tight against the wall this way. Remember to keep your face and the back of your neck covered tightly. Try to fall away from windows or doors with glass in them. Then, if the glass breaks and flies through the air, it won't cut you. You might be eating your lunch when the flash comes. Duck and cover under the table. Then, if the explosion makes anything in the room fall down, it can't fall on you. Getting ready means we will all have to be able to take care of ourselves. The bomb might explode when there are no grown-ups near. Paul and Patty know this, and they're always ready to take care of themselves. Here they are on their way to school on a beautiful spring day. But no matter where they go or what they do, they always try to remember what to do if the atom bomb explodes right then. It's a bomb. Duck and cover. Paul and Patty know what to do. Paul covered the back of his head so that he wouldn't be burned, and Patty covered herself with the coat she was carrying. They knew how to duck and cover. They acted right away when the flash came. If they had been at this doorway when the bomb flashed, Paul and Patty would have ducked and covered this way, like this girl. Heavy doorways are a good place to duck and cover. She will be safer, too. Here's Tony going to his Cub Scout meeting. Tony knows the bomb can explode any time of the year, day or night. He is ready for it. Duck and cover. Attaboy, Tony. That flash means act fast. Tony knows that it helps to get to any kind of cover. This wall was close by, so that's where he ducked and covered. Tony knew what to do. Notice how he keeps from moving or from getting up and running? He stays down until he is sure the danger is over. The man helping Tony is a civil defense worker. His job is to help protect us when there is danger of the atomic bomb. We must obey the civil defense worker. We must know how to duck and cover in the school bus or in any other bus or streetcar. Duck and cover. Don't wait. Duck away from the windows fast. The glass may break and fly through the air and cut you. Sundays, holidays, vacation time, we must be ready every day, all the time, to do the right thing if the atomic bomb explodes. Duck and cover. This family knows what to do, just as your own family should. They know that even a thin cloth helps protect them. Even a newspaper can save you from a bad burn. But the most important thing of all is to duck and cover yourself, especially where your clothes do not cover you. No matter where we live, in the city or the country, we must be ready all the time for the atomic bomb. Duck and cover. That's the first thing to do, duck and cover. The next important thing to do after that is to stay covered until the danger is over. Yes, we must all get ready now so we know how to save ourselves if the atomic bomb ever explodes near us. If you do not know just what to do, ask your teacher when this film is over. Discuss what you could do in different places if a bomb explodes. Older people will help us as they always do, but there might not be any grown-ups around when the bomb explodes. Then, you're on your own.
Remember what to do, friends. Now tell me right out loud. What are you supposed to do when you see the flash?
Duck and cover. Duck and cover. Duck
advice to you, start drinking heavily.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy. Why, oh, why?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Humans of the internet, welcome to the Monday Night Comedy Show. Given your host,
Just too nice. It's no. Too nice. It's no. Stop. Thank you. Stop. Thank you. Thank you. This is good. Thank you. Oh, good. God. Oh. You gotta. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're gonna fix this. Thank you.
Right.
In post, we're gonna be like Jimmy Kimmel. It's gonna be like Jimmy Kimmel.
I just thought you were trying to like stall until kitchen staff.
I just thought you were trying to like stall until
kitchen show up over down because like
please come bolster our audience. Please kitchen staff. My God, our audience. Welcome everybody to the Monday Night Comedy Show. Welcome everybody to the Monday Night Comedy Show. If you haven't been here, I'm Andrew. We've had 599 of these. We've had 599 of these. Tonight is our 600 Monday Night Comedy Show. Give yourselves a round of applause. Mostly us, because 600 of anything is a lot. 600 and a lot like of anything. 600 of certain things is like illegal, and you're going to be lifted up for dealing. You're going to be lifted up for 600 of other things, like butterfly. 600 of other things. That's just butterfly. That's nice. That's just, but it is nice. I mean, not at once. But you don't want. It is a lot. I mean, not at once. Honey, I love you. Before you go to bed, I'm going to give you 600 butterfly kisses. Which, if you don't know what a butterfly kiss is, it's where you hold the baby close to you and you like punch it with your eyelash. You know. It should be your baby. Yeah, it's not. I mean, don't do this to other people's babies. Not your teenager. Not. I mean.
Do it with someone like you're being intimate.
Oh, like your girlfriend? Why? I don't know if you would really want to do that with someone. Like, say it's like I don't know how fast you move when you're dating, but usually by like the second hour is when you're having sex, right? Of the first date, and
yeah, it depends on when you pay. You have to pay first, and then yeah.
So I've lost my train of thoughts because I was just thinking about how sexy Kruger is, so he's not denying it.
Accurate, right on.
Accurate. Kruger, is your mic supposed to be unmuted? No. Oh, doubly echo. Nobody wants that. Yeah. I think I just unmuted you accidentally. Anyway, let's bring. Whoa. You just kicked me off. Okay, good. That's what we want. All right, are we ready? Let's start this over completely. All right.
Humans of the internet, welcome to our 600th Monday Night Comedy Show.
Is it because it's a special show that you're actually going to listen to me? Because in about 45 minutes, I'm going to say something stupid. And then I'm going to ask for us to start over again. and are you going to do it?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank God for you, Kruger. All right.
I mean, you already ruined this bit, so let's do it.
This bit. We're allowed to improvise now. 600th show. Let's meet some people. Hey, St. May of the Underground.
Hello.
Woo! Coming to us from South Minneapolis, and of course, to my immediate left is J Money, the motherfucking hawk. Indeed. And South Minneapolis for May, but for you,
I am definitely in a basement in South Minneapolis.
That's you to the left-hand side.
Yes.
And
you are not.
Well, now we have so many friends here. We have, of course,
friends.
Michael Schaefer from Fairbanks, Alaska.
Yay! Hello.
Hey, hello.
Joe Christensen.
Hello, Joe.
We got Mr. Patrick Ryan Bauer, aka Dank Mofo.
Dank Mofo. Hello, sir.
And now for our out-of-town friends, because guys, from Long Island, New York, put your hands together for CC Hexa. Welcome back. Now, CC is representing the east side of the continent. Now we move to the west. Go west, young person, and say hello to our friend Wonder Dave.
Wonder Dave
from the Bay Area.
Hello.
Where they
Wonder
talk
Dave.
about his town, and we built this city by starship. It's true.
Stars.
Can't deny that.
All of the stars.
Now it's great to have Wonder Dave, but also in California, back for a limited engagement just for tonight. Everybody say hi to Leah Mansfield. Leah. We can't hold in our excitement that you are here tonight with us. It's exciting to have you back. It's exciting to have everybody. This is like a game of Hollywood Squares, and one of you is I don't know who's the short kid from Fantasy Island, Hector. Hugo Chavez. I don't know. We'll just go with that. Okay.
Valencias?
I think
Hervé.
Hervé Valencias?
Hervé Valencias.
Oh, I was just told that we have to kill the bear. We can't say kill Whitey on the internet anymore.
Why?
Yeah, triggers and warnings and stuff. No. It's okay if you're talking about killing Whitey. How you can't say kill Whitey. On Facebook. Facebook might flag you for saying kill Whitey, because they might take it out of context.
Or change your name to Hunter
Biden. Or if you change your name to Hunter Biden. You're absolutely right. Robert Burrell did that to us. And I just activated Whitey. His motor still works. And he made it
at least one of ours.
He's getting a text. You hearing that? That's weird. He used to say things.
Yeah, he used to say, hold me.
Hold me. Squeeze me. Love
and what do we
me.
do?
But now we have to kill him. 600 shows, folks. 600.
No affection.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoy it. We're going to rock it through. The intro was the longest part of the show. Thanks for being patient. Everybody, be sure to comment. In the comment section, we're gonna pop it up here. Give me one moment while I just harness all the energy in this nanotakostudios in North Minneapolis. We got a baker's four of people in the studio. Safety first. We're all trying to not kill each other with COVID-19. So, which you should be doing too. Do we have our first comic? From Fairbanks, Alaska. Kruger, are you excited? Yeah. It is so good to have you back. Thank you so much for saying yes to the 600th show, Mr. Michael Schaefer.
Hey. All right. Excellent. Oh, well, thank you, Andrew. So I've got 3 poems for you good people tonight. Here's a chestnut of a poem that is wonderfully dated. I first did this piece about the decriminalization of marijuana back in 2008 at the Monday Night Comedy Show. Since then, we've had 3 presidents elected. The Monday Night Comedy Show has enjoyed hundreds of performances, and marijuana has been decriminalized in some form in 44 states, including a fully legalized status here in Alaska. So a fistful of Novembers ago, let's call it an even dozen, cousin. Back in 2008, there were 2 initiatives that caught my attention on the Alaska ballot. Initiative 2, the initiative to decriminalize marijuana, was voted down. Initiative 3, the initiative making bear baiting illegal, was also voted down. So I combined these two initiatives and came up with something I like to call initiative number 5. Private Kelly was in Baghdad when he voted for Palin and McCain. His wife back home, a Democrat, said he was insane. He said, "Honey, I love my job, and that's the way I voted." A week after elections, a car bomb exploded, and Private Kelly lost his right arm. He was sent home to Wasilla, Alaska, just in time for Christmas. The Christmas gift given to him by his hometown drinking buddies, a new nickname, Lefty. In the next election, Lefty votes for initiative number 5. It states that not only will it be legal to smoke marijuana while baiting a bear, but that hunters will be required to be under the influence of marijuana while baiting bear. Hey, it's only fair, rally the environmentalists, whose cry is heard as initiative number 5 passes by the narrowest of margins. Now college students, DJs, social workers, pilots, and poets everywhere will be blazing up blunts and baiting bear. Lefty is happy with the results of the election, but now he wants a brown bear skin on his living room wall, so he hauls ass out of Wasilla with his hunting license, his bear tag, his 308, a bear trap, some Twinkies, some zigzags, and a quarter bag he bought from one of his hometown drinking buddies. After a 3-mile hike into the wild, Lefty gets ready to trick a grizzly. With his right foot and his one remaining arm, he pries open the steel jaws of his old man's bear trap and carefully places an unwrapped Twinkie thus. Honoring the requirements of state initiative number 5, Lefty lights up and smokes a fatty. As he patiently waits for a hungry bear, he fondly remembers all the good times he had with his right arm. Then, suffering from a sudden attack of the munchies, in a moment of drug-induced absent-mindedness, without even thinking, Lefty reaches for the Twinkie. Somewhere on the other side of the woods, a papa bear turns his attention to the distant screams of Lefty and the promising scent of cream filling. The grizzly begins bounding over brook and boulder to find a man with a bloody stump. It's severed at the shoulder. The giant bear is puzzled by what he's found. He recognizes the man's boomstick on the ground. The man is armed and yet armless. Harmless. Taking pity, the bear in one quick bite devours the hostess snack cake. He takes the severed arm in his jaws and leaves. Lefty fumbles for his cell phone and dials 911 with his chin. When the paramedics show up, they don't know where to begin. Responding to the report, 2 state troopers arrive. Yep, looks like another case of initiative number 5. Lefty is hospitalized, but he's alive just the same. His drinking buddies are going to have to give him some other name. And the next time he votes, and for the rest of his life, he's going to require the help of his ambidextrous wife. She'll lend a hand for each of his political picks, even if he's dumb enough to vote for initiative number 6. Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So moving right along, this next poem is about pooping your pants. And when asked, I think when asked, most of us might confess to pooping our pants when we were 5 or 6. But I'm willing to bet that most of you, if your feet were held to the fire, if you were compelled to confess the truth, many of us have pooped our pants much more recently than the ages of 5 or 6 from the internet. Can I get an anonymous amen?
My name is Andrew, and I say yeah.
Oh, God bless you. I'm glad I'm not alone on this one.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
there we go. So, the following is based on a true story involving late night cuisine and my good friend Lauren. This is the Denny's incident. It was the end of the Kansas City Fringe in 2009. I had a ticket out of town on the Greyhound bus line. I was riding shotgun. Lauren was at the wheel, and we had time to sit down for one last meal. It was the middle of the night, and it wasn't our first choice, not our second, but the fluorescent flicker of a Denny's sign beckoned. We ordered a couple of greasy combos, ate, chatted, paid, departed. 2 miles from the bus stop, Lauren sharted. And to forego the ambiguous semantic dance, I mean, Lauren totally fucking shit her pants. Now, a rose by any other name would have smelled not so sweet. As I was rolling down the windows from my passenger seat, my laughter wasn't helping. Pointing was admittedly rude. And then I realized that I had eaten the same damn food. And what happened next truly baffles the senses. I had to pay for the incontinencequences. Yes, karma exists, and it doesn't hold back. It can wreak havoc on any digestive tract. And when Denny's rains, Denny's pours. I totally defecated my silky drawers. And there was nothing more to say then. No gesture to soothe her, no air fresheners or industrial strength stain remover, but driving that last mile through our fear and loathing, what we both wouldn't have given for just a fresh change of clothing. So that's not the end of the story. So I wrote that poem for Lauren, added the poem to a show I performed in Kansas City at the Fringe, invited Lauren to attend the show, and after gaining her permission, I introduced Lauren to the crowd after that bit. Now, the audience was very sympathetic and heartily applauded her for being such a good sport. Many of them had eaten at that very same Denny's. And if I'm being extra truthful about the Denny's incident, we really did go to Denny's, but Lauren didn't poop her pants until after she dropped me off at the bus stop. I was fine. I took poetic license and had me pooping my pants too to lend a sort of solidarity to soiling. Lauren dropped me off, and I caught my bus, and I didn't have any mishaps, but she told me years afterwards, after the actual incident, that she was overwhelmed after the bus stop. She sped back into town at 2 a.m, attempted to pull into a McDonald's to use the bathroom, horribly dismayed to find out that McDonald's was only drive-through. She promptly shat her pants in the McDonald's parking lot, and having no wish to drive the remaining 10 miles home sitting in her own filth, she stripped off all of her bottom garments and stuffed them into the McDonald's Red Box movie rental depository and drove away. So I cannot imagine how the horror of the McDonald's employee the next morning. I'm sure it was a McShitty start to the day.
Dang.
I shall leave you, good people, with my newest poem, inspired by recent Thanksgiving gluttony and excess. This is my parting shot. It's called Cheat Day. Well, for starters, I drink your milkshake. Then I shall eclipse the last 600 Monday night comedy shows, crop dusting those who exceed their 10-minute time limit. I shall feast on pop culture references, nom, 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 gobbling up formulaic setups and predictable punchlines like an underfed, unattended baby Yoda, ingesting innuendo and idioms because this is the way. Breaking hearts like discontinued Tab soda, my COVID mask dangling, dripping with gravy, my appetite unwavering because I still have room to chew up and spit out a second helping of sight gags and Toms, fashioning self-deprecating monologues into toothpicks and making yummy kebabs out of fresh meat wannabes. My gullet is ready for the highest calorie haiku this side of a Chino Latino sneeze guard, a 17-ingredient cluster fudge of monosyllabic palate pleasers designed to put me into a Rip Van Fantastic food coma until the inauguration. Past the salt, corn, steak, shrimp, rice, beans, buns, tots, yams, leeks, lox, squash, soup, ribs, grits, tea, and pie. This is going to leave me more stuffed and satisfied than a Hennepin County ballot box, y'all. So, pass the fucking salt already. It was like the first thing I asked for. Here's to the next 600 shows. My name's Michael Schaefer. That's my time. Good night.
Humans of the internet, give it up for Michael Schaefer.
Yeah.
All right.
Michael, we love you. I know you gotta go because that's why you asked to go early. So thank you so much for being a part of the 600 show. Can't tell you how much of a major part that you have played over the years because you were with us back in the beat. So thank you so much for saying yes, even to this day.
All right.
Thank you. One more time, Michael Schaefer. Now we have to unceremoniously kick Michael out of the show. Sorry, we have to bring Peebo. Dank Mofo. Peebo, give yourself a round of applause for choosing the Monday Night Comedy Show. Thank you. That was clearly the speaker's not up. Welcome.
Hi.
Yes.
Am I up?
No, Mike. You know what? Now you're out of the show. Just kidding. Yeah, no,
I'm not even done with my popcorn.
All right. We're only allowed 10 people at a time using the platform that we do. Yeah. We couldn't afford Zoom because
bring me in before my
after 40 minutes, which is usually my introductions, then you would have to start paying, and that sucks nuts to that. So welcome, Patrick. We were just saying hey.
All right.
Now we're gonna say hey to our dear friend from somewhere in California. I'm not sure. Leah Mansfield. Holy shit! Welcome to the Monday.
I'm in my garage. Actually, I'm in my garage. I started a winter garden. That's that right there. Everybody's like, "Why don't you grow marijuana?" And it's like, because it's legal and it comes in like this amazing form. I'm like, no, those are tomatoes and peppers. So January, I'm gonna have like salsa down here. It's gonna be amazing. Oh man, it's been so long. It feels weird to just dive into jokes without like having a catch-up session, but I live with my girlfriend in Hollywood. She bought a house. She's much better off than I am. In every way, really. I'm just good at eating pussy, so I have a garage. Anyway, so we bought this house from another pair of lesbians that retired to Palm Springs, because that's where you go. And so for 15 years before we lived here, another set of lesbians lived here. So I like to call the house, if this house could just shut the fuck up. Stop talking, Jesus. Man, a lot has happened since I talked to you guys last. My mom's dead now, so that happens. So I don't have to like make up excuses to get her off the phone. That's nice. But she died a couple years ago, and when she passed, they didn't find her body for 5 days, which, just, hey, be nicer to your kids and they'll stop by more often. So, man, it's cool. She had 2 cats with her when she died. That's a scary thing to walk into. You're like, well, what are we gonna find? Like mom, or just like most of mom? It's cool. The cats, they love my mom. They were gonna die with her like she was the pharaoh, because they didn't touch her. Either that, or she really gave him a lot of extra food right before the end, and they're just like, "Hey, this is amazing. Why is there so much food in here?" My mom was disabled her whole life, so let's talk about that. That's fun. She was in an accident when she was a little kid. She was 13 months old, actually, and my grandparents were in a drunken fight, and they're alcoholics because, Irish and Native Americans don't drink so much, or do. We're all drunk. I'm drinking right now. But my grandparents got in a drunken fight, and my mom was in the driveway because alcoholics make terrible babysitters. And then my grandma got in the car, and she ran over my mom, and then freaked out and backed over her again.
Oh God!
That's what we were told. It was like, I know, it was like a bump, and then a bump. It's fine. She survived. It's fine. She lived through it. That's how I got here. Oh, good. But we just heard someone pop something open. That means your set's going well. That's what that means. I gotta say, my mom. She was 13 months old, and I gotta say, the real tragedy is that she was an early walker. Like she if she just started late, I'd probably be a lawyer right now, you know? No, Canadian. Yeah, no, my grandma's a crazy story. She went to jail for a year for that. That's what we call my grandma's sober period. She was, didn't even make jailhouse gin or anything. I don't know. Yeah, she was sober the whole period, and then she got out of jail, and someone just gave her license back. I don't know why. It was like the 50s. She got it at Sears, so I guess she just go back and buy it again. I have no idea. But I remember driving around with her in the 80s. And the only time it was really scary is if she was having like a lot of milk and ice cubes that morning, and then you're just like, well, don't get out of the car. Yeah, she died in 1989, so don't stress. She'd be dead by now no matter what. We'll switch gears a little bit. My dad came out to me after my mom died as a bisexual cross-dresser. So this is what my dad wants. He wants to date men and wear women's clothing. And I was like, wow, together we make one full woman. All the insides, and he's got all the outsides. That's great. Whereas a lot of places my dad and I can't vacation. So, but that's fine. I love that you had I don't know how long I'm going to go for, so I'm just going to keep talking until someone turns me on. But it was such a great intro because it was the nuclear weapons thing and like how to hide and what'll happen if there's no adults around. Like, there's not going to be any adults around. I know this because my first job out of college was in the Air Force. I was a person who sat underground and waited to launch nuclear weapons. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was 20. Well, I was 21 when I got the job. I was 22 when I started. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if you met 22-year-olds, but they should not be launching nuclear weapons. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck up now. Fuck, dude. Yeah, they should have. Whoever did that top secret clearance was just like pushing a bunch of paperwork through for the holidays or something. That's my personal opinion. But I pulled 254 alerts underground, like under the earth, just sitting there waiting to launch a nuclear weapon. That's 254 days. So like one shift is 1 day. And it's been 254 days underground. And I could have done anything at that time, man. I could have like learned French or gotten a master's degree. They were paying for it. I could have, I don't know. I could have learned guitar. I just started comedy. I could have written a book. The only thing I did is I watched over 200 episodes of Cops. 200 episodes. Dude, the only thing I learned that whole time was don't go to Albuquerque. That place is a shithole. Like, one town is so bad that they're like, yeah, just keep bringing cops in. We need the money. Like, fucking terrible. 254 alerts. Oh, you guys still remember that? I still have that joke. I haven't told it in such a long time, but a lot of people ask me dumb questions like, if you ever actually launched one, like, don't you think you remember? Come on, man. I think in 2020's made anything clear. It's like, if the apocalypse happened, we would all know about it. And then 45% of people would be like, it never happened. Yes. Oh, man. Wow, that seems like a fun place to end. I have no idea how long I've been on, but that seems like a
45 minutes.
Everybody, give me that. Give it up for Leah.
Leah. Come back in 2 months. Have tomatoes and peppers right here. It's gonna be amazing.
We'll check back on you.
Those are really just vegetables?
Some herbs as well. I'm also growing a tea garden, so different plants I can steam myself in water.
California's changed you, Leah Mansfield.
Oh my God, dude. So much. I will not sleep outside anymore. I'm done with that.
Which you did a lot of in Minnesota.
I used to camp. Yeah, I used to camp. I love camping growing up, and lakes, boats. And nowadays I'm like, I would love to go out for the day and then come back to like a bathtub. That's what I want now. So, and then it could just be, I'm 43 now. I don't know if you guys, when you met me, I was like a fucking 13-year-old asshole, but I'm like, pay my taxes now and stuff. Like, I'm pretty boring, actually. Yeah, I grow tea plants.
They canceled all those, all the paying of taxes because of COVID. I saw a meme.
Really? You don't say, because I'm just getting all my tax information from Google. So I
you should get it from someone who's run a mildly successful comedy show for 13. I don't even have enough fingers. I have to borrow some of Kruger's.
Hey, how old is your kid right now?
He's like 27.
Dude, that means
he's 9 years old.
How old? He's 9? 9. So I have a vial of Andy Brindleson's hair that's 9.5 years old. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Someone else has that.
What?
It warms my heart that someone else besides me has one.
Yeah.
I used to put it on my dash when I crossed every state line.
I know. And you tagged me in the photos. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a picture of my mom with your hair, actually. It's great.
All right. Well, you're in Hollywood. Let's travel down the coast. Or
Perfect.
Up the coast? I don't know how California works. Is it up? It'd be up? Let's go up the coast, the California coast, and say hello to our friend Wonder Dave.
Hello. Oh my God! Hey, it's Wonder Dave. I'm look at this! Look at this quality lighting. This is fun. This is high quality. What's funny is I just got a new computer and I just left that new computer at work today. So whoops, everyone, you get old computer, bad lighting. That's what you get. Hey everyone, my name is Wonder Dave. I am from Minnesota, but now I live in San Francisco. That's exciting. This is riveting content already. What do I do for work? Why did I leave my computer at work? Is it because I have a very stressful, strange job? Yes, it is. No, so before the pandemic, what I did for work was I worked in event production. It's like music festivals, corporate conferences, that kind of thing. So I was like a lead PA or an assistant to the event planner, whatever. If you've ever been to a music festival and you saw a guy with like an earpiece and a roll of tape, that was me. I was earpiece roll of tape guy. I was really good at being earpiece roll of tape guy. Like I had it down. I had the earpiece, I had the tape. I could do anything. It was really amazing. And guess what doesn't happen anymore post-pandemic? Live events. No live events. I was unemployed for quite a while until about a month back. A guy who I'd done some work for gave me a call and he said, "Hey, Dave, are you busy?" And I was like, "You already know the answer." I am not. And he's like, "Oh, can you come help out at this pop-up COVID test site?" So now I'm a medical professional. But apparently that's the same skill set. It's deeply upsetting. Here's the deal. It is the same skill set. What do I do at this COVID test site? I direct traffic. I bring people over to the check-in desk. I scan their barcode. Like I'm working the check-in tent at a music festival, but it's a pandemic. That's what's happening. It's very upsetting to me. Those are the same job. I have a badge that says essential worker. And what's fucked up is that everyone at my job used to do what I do. One of my coworkers and I today realized that we both worked at this EDM festival last year together. So If you don't know what EDM stands for, it stands for everyone's doing Molly, right? It stands for electronic dance music. And me and my coworker worked at the same one last year. And if you've never been to an electronic dance music festival, it's a real fun time. It's basically a festival that you go to and you're like, tight, there's music at this drugs festival. Nice. Very fun. So yeah, before I managed to get a job in the pandemic with all of my skills, I was just at home getting stoned. That was fun. I mean, I was trying to get a job, wasn't happening. So I guess unrelated, I gained 15 pounds, let myself get a little pandem thick, if you will. Stupid. And then I mostly sat home watching horror movies and true crime. Those are my two genres of choice, right? I'm just a big fan of murder, it turns out.
Murder.
That's what I want. To be clear, I would like there to be 0 murders. That's the number of murders I want. However, I do think that if you do a murder, you should be obligated to also do a documentary about that murder, right? A podcast at the very least. That's all. You can't get paid for it. You can't make money for your crimes. I have noticed I have a bit of a gender bias when it comes to the true crime watching, right? Spoiler alert, you know who's going to kill you? Your significant other. It's your spouse. Most murders are committed by heterosexuals, not to denigrate the amazing work gay people have done in the serial killer department. Jeffrey Dahmer just breaking that gay glass ceiling. Eileen Wuornos, kudos to her. True feminist icon of serial killing. What is he talking about? But so usually it's your spouse that kills you, right? And I have this bias I've noticed where if I'm watching a documentary and I see that Jim has murdered his wife, Gina, I'm immediately like, that piece of shit. Fuck him. However, if I hear that Gina has murdered her husband, Jim, I'm like, what did he do? Backstory. She just loves life insurance? Okay, she's a piece of shit too. But I have to get there first, right? That's the thing. That's where I'm at. I don't know. What else have I done in this fun pandemic time? My favorite piece of non-pandemic related news happened. RuPaul of RuPaul's Drag Race, America's most famous drag queen, supermodel of the world, was being interviewed on NPR and decided to reveal to us the 3 F's of drag, right? The 3 F's that you need to be a truly successful drag performer. You got to be fierce. You got to be funny. You got to be fracking. Fracking. That's the 3rd one. Did you know that was the 3rd one? You got to frack. Fun fact, RuPaul is fracking. I'm not making this up. America's most famous drag queen, also fracking. What an amazing success story, to be honest. RuPaul just, walked into the workroom and was like, hello, I'm fracking. No. RuPaul was being interviewed on NPR. Terry Gross was interviewing him and said, you own 6,000 acres of land in Wyoming. What do you do with that? And RuPaul said, 60,000, add a 0. Don't disrespect me, Terry Gross. And then RuPaul said, mostly we do land management. It's a modern ranch, so we lease the right to cattle companies and oil and gas companies. And then Terry Gross had no follow-up questions. But some liberal sleuth was listening to NPR and was like, hey, everybody, leasing the rights to oil and gas companies in Wyoming means you're fracking. That's what it means. So they went on fracktracker.org, figured out RuPaul's property line, because the internet is amazing. And it's 60,000 acres, so it's a big property line to look at on Frack Tracker when you're zoomed into Wyoming. So you have to scroll, and you're going from east to west, and you're like, this is fine. this famous drag queen can't possibly be fracking. Until you get to the westernmost corner of the property, which is lit up like a drag queen's Christmas tree, because bright fracking on fracktracker.org. And yeah, it turns out RuPaul's fracking, y'all. I guess I shouldn't be surprised because she's always been groundbreaking.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
That was regrettable. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for going on that journey with me. Let's see what else I want to talk to you guys about. I'll close on this because it's hopefully going to be done soon. Hopefully I can quit telling this joke. It's about our vice president. Perhaps you have heard of him. His name is Mike Pence. Yeah, boo, right? Fuck that guy. I will admit that as a gay comedian, like Mike Pence is the perfect nemesis for me. He is the Vince McMahon to my Stone Cold Steve Austin, if you will. But thank you. That was delayed and I appreciate it. It's not even a joke. It's just a wrestling reference. But Mike Pence, here's a fun fact about him. He thinks that you can electroshock the gay away. I know he thinks it because he said it with his mouth. But little does he know, I'm into that. It's gonna go away soon, everyone. We're so excited. Right. Bye.
I love it. Oh my God. Wonder Dave, thank you so much for doing our 600th show. I miss you very much.
I'm thrilled to have been a part of many of these 600 shows.
Yes. You're an integral part to the Monday and the history of when they write a coffee table book about us, where they have a lot of steel case cover, like Madonna's sex book, and they have Kruger and I in a lot of erotic poses.
Oh, all of them. All of the erotic.
That'd be good. The pose that you're doing now should be on the cover right now.
Yeah, just me hitchhiking nude, right? That's the pose.
Yeah. If any visual describes the Monday Night Comedy Show, it's a naked Wonder Dave on the side of the road. Hitching a ride.
I still have that poster where I'm Princess Leia and I'm clinging to your leg. So how about that?
Yeah.
That's what I still have.
We were just talking about that poster.
We were from Doug Kahlberg of freerangecomics.com.
Yeah.
He's in Nebraska.
He is in Nebraska.
We should call him one night too.
Moving away to more interesting states like California, Nebraska. Speaking of interesting states, New York. Billy Joel writes songs about them in New York, those states of mind. After.
Like I hate Billy Joel.
I can tell who is not.
What the fuck?
That's another song about New York. They drink a lot of wine.
Yes.
Kruger? Did you know that they have rivers in New York?
Yeah.
Rivers of dreams?
Yep. I'm just trying to not encourage you.
That's moving on, then I'm moving out.
God damn it. God damn it, Andy. Motherfucker.
And sometimes you just lose.
May, I don't care what you do with your own life, but leave me alone.
Yeah.
In Allentown. I think that's all the Billy Joel songs I know.
You may be right. I might be crazy.
But just might be a lunatic you're looking for. Oh,
wait, I think Andy's about to get his second wind.
Californian making fun of a New York. God.
The glass breaking in the beginning of You May Be Right is because the album is called Glass Houses, and the cover is him standing about to throw a rock, and it's the lead track, so that the very first sound you hear is the glass breaking.
Oh, God.
Fucking Billy Joel.
He thinks that Billy Joel came up with that little chestnut? Like,
Wait till they get this deep cut.
Yeah.
Gonna start with glass breaking. What? Oh, it was you the whole time.
I'm sorry.
Billy Joel. Joining us in the virtual studio is Nick Piontek now. Everybody say hi to Nick. Well,
hello,
Nick,
everyone.
how are you? It looks like you're in a rocking chair.
You got me prepping.
You got the what?
What?
What'd you say?
I said the studio was full, so I finally got in, and I think you guys.
That's a very popular place tonight.
Yeah, it is. It is very funny show. Always fun to see Leah Mansfield. I am closing. I'm supposed to be closing on my house, as you guys know, and it's been delayed multiple times. And because Leah said that if you eat really good pussy, you get a house, all those underwriters just got the weirdest emails. What do we gotta do to close this thing?
Nice.
Ladies,
talk more about your real estate endeavors.
I put some positive things in your future concerning this.
You're always helping me, girl. You're always helping me.
That's nice. Solid advice.
Everybody
Solid.
bookmark how to get a real estate license, and I'll look that up after the show for a viable career mode. I was talking about New York. Now we have to start the show over.
Humans of the internet, welcome to the 600th Monday Night Comedy Show. Give it up for your host, Andrew Danger Reynolds.
I don't know what I'm doing. They have my son. Please make it stop.
Oh my god.
I have to laugh or they'll kill him.
Speaking of killing it, our next comic is going to.
Wow. Okay.
Really good segue.
Right. There we go. There we go.
From Long Island, New York, ladies and folks. Sorry, I didn't want to say that. Ooh, sorry. From Long Island, who just suffered a blackout. She defies all odds and is joining us. Thank you for being here, CC Hexa.
Thank you. The blackout meant that we had a temporary blackout. It didn't last for long, thank God, but I had to cancel. I tutor online, and I forgot to start my timer, so I don't know how long I'm doing. Okay, now I know how long I'm doing. I'll go right back to talking about the comedy. I was freaked out that I wasn't gonna, I had to cancel one of my online lessons because of the blackout. Thank God it came on before the comedy, which I really care about, but I don't really care about the children I teach. And it was this one little prick that I canceled with. This is not even material. This is just a story of this schmucky kid that I don't like. So his mother comes to me, all worried about her kid being dumb. And so I say, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He's not dumb. We all learn at different paces, which I believe, but also there are dumb people. But so I say to him in our first lesson, I'm like, he's having trouble writing. So I'm like, hey, you know what? We're just going to think about the ideas and getting your ideas out. All I want to know is what it's like, what you think about, and don't even worry about writing. I'm going to take over the typing, okay? You don't have to do any typing. And his response is, well, how fast do you type? I said, listen here, you little shit. I was brought here because you're failing all of your classes. You should be grateful that I'm typing for you. Punchline is really the listen here, you little shit. But I didn't have my next joke ready to go, so I kind of brought it on a little thing, and we're just going to keep going. So I teach children. Here's the thing. I love to teach, but I don't love children. But I'm learning, So you got to teach. Beggars can't be choosers. So I teach children because they're the ones who don't know how to write. And we're just keep going. So I just want to say something about kids is that if any house pet were as unclean as a human child, it would only be legal to own one in West Virginia. at the moment, I bluffed my way into teaching this preschool pod because, I'm an overpaid nanny to two atrocious brats. And I bluffed my way into this job because, I used to live in Germany. And when I lived in Germany, I taught English as a foreign language to little kids. But what I did was I went into an existing preschool for an hour a week, and I sang the hokey pokey, and now I'm supposed to teach motherfuckers to read. And it's super different. So, but I took the job, and I went from being, my teaching experience was, you're the random grown-up who comes and sings gibberish for an hour, to being the only adult who's paid attention to us in maybe forever. So it's these poor. Here's a part that's not a joke. I just feel like telling it to you guys. And you know what? I'll see if you laugh, and if you laugh, I'll write it in. How does that sound? That's my teacher voice. That's my teacher voice. We'll do a little that. How does that sound? Does that sound fair? Like a fair compromise? Okay. So this kid, this 3-year-old girl, could barely make a sentence, and then at one point just says, "My mother doesn't care about me. My mother only cares about herself." I was just like, what the fuck? I don't know what to do with that. It's like, do you want to color? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to respond to that. So anyway, it's snack time with these two kids. It's a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old sisters. And it's snack time. And instead of sitting her on her own seat, this bitch, who, P.S., I discovered that she isn't wearing underwear because she pulled a piece of toilet paper out of her vagina and threw it at me. So,
oh my God!
She's not wearing underwear, and instead of sitting on her own seat, she is straddling my leg and really grinding it in there, and just popping goldfish crackers into her mouth. And she's trying to stick her fingers in my mouth, and she's trying to get me to kiss her, and Also, quick digression, how is it that in the 21st century, children under 6 still manage to cover themselves in soot? While the rest of us are in the digital age, they're still Dickensian urchins sweeping chimneys for a tuppence, coming straight to kindergarten from the Yorkshire coal mine. I don't fucking understand it. So anyway, she's straddling my leg instead of sitting in her own seat, and she's trying to make me give her a kiss and putting her fingers in her mouth. And in any other context, this is obscene sexual harassment. But as my assailant, as yet, has no concept of sexuality, I just have to sit there and take it and pretend it as if it isn't churning my stomach because her face is inexplicably covered with jam. Yeah, like I said, I'm a teacher and I don't like it. It's great. But it's fine. But I do like teaching. Like I said, I was living in Germany and I was teaching English as a foreign language. And it was really funny living. I don't know if anyone listening has ever lived in a country where they don't speak the language, but English is still the main language kind of the world because we want, I'm sorry, but privilege, but we want. Anyway, so I'm you end up being in all these situations where even if you're trying to learn the language of the place that you're in and trying to speak, people want to practice their English on you. So I end up in all these situations where someone says, oh yes, I am speaking English since 10 years, and stop it, you're hurting her, and in Berlin, where I was living, at the end of the subway, it says they're trying to appeal to tourists. So it says blah, 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 German, and then it says terminus, please alight. Unless you are currently studying for the SATs, you are not using the word terminus or the word alight. If you want New Yorkers to understand what's going on, you should say, the train is over. You're off the fucking train. Yeah, so something that people love to say, my mother said to me the other day, she was talking about how brilliant Winston Churchill says, and she said to me, if it wasn't for Churchill, this whole world would be speaking German. And as someone who's trying to learn German and really honestly, not punchline, thinks it's a beautiful language, that sort of offends me, as if the big problem with the Nazis was that we don't want to put the verb at the end of the sentence. Like, but subject, verb, object. That's how it goes. No. Anyway, so I did know a little German before I moved there. For example, I knew that when somebody sneezes, what you're supposed to say is Gesundheit. And I knew it, even though it was different from what I was raised with, which was stop it. I was trying to learn German with Duolingo. I don't know if any of you guys know that app. It's a language learning app. I'm trying to fix my hair, but it's all reversed. So I'm trying to put it behind one ear and it goes behind the other ear. Anyway, Duolingo is a language learning app that I will tell you about, and then I will go. So most of the time, it's asking you to read things and write things, but occasionally it asks you to listen and speak. So I'm sitting out on my balcony, and to me this is an academic endeavor, forgetting the fact that in the country that I'm in, this is the native language. And it doesn't sound to them like someone's studying, it sounds like someone's lost their mind. Unprovoked into the night, which animals lay eggs? My phone is kind of a piece of shit, so I'm saying it again. Which animals lay eggs? And I don't realize people can hear me until someone just shouts up from the ground, birds! My German is getting a little bit better, a little bit better. I do practice, but there is one word that I can't get over. It's a little bit silly. It's a little bit blue. The German word for thick is dick. And it makes me giggle like a freshman. Like, I was in a grocery store and I saw some bread, extra dick, and I thought, I'm divorced and lonely. Who am I to turn down this bread? Thank you guys so much for having me. As always, here.
Humans of the internet, give it up for CC Heads Up.
Thank you so much for being a part of the 600th show. Outstanding job, as usual. We're looking forward to seeing you again very soon, hopefully before the end of the year. One more time. CC Hexa.
Thank you so much.
Now, our next guest is part of the Monday Night Comedy Show Comic in Residence program. And let's get him up here. It is Nick Piontek, where Nick has been writing 5 brand new minutes of material just for this great crowd, the Monday Night Comedy Show crowd. Let's clap all the time for Mr. Nick Piontek. Yes!
And once again, Aries is around the corner. Like every one of the sets that I do, Aries loves to cuddle on the bed and look really sad at you guys. Doesn't he look at him back there? He's like, he's mad because I don't let him shit on tables anymore. It's a terrible thing.
I'm mad too, Aries.
Get astray, they said. So we're past the Thanksgiving season, and out of everything in 2020, I feel like I just got robbed of my favorite time of the year, which is Black Friday. And I have never shopped at Black Friday, but I like to do a thing where I go to the suburbs and I just do my very best to incite a riot. So I go to the Maple Grove Walmart is really what I do. And which is like 20 minutes from my house. And I wait in line, and then what I do is I pretend to answer my phone and go, what? They're out of the big screens or whatever the hot item is. And I turn to whoever's near me and I say, my cousin works here, and they told me that they're almost out of TVs. And then I just leave and watch the news. with all this Corona shit, we have too many people. I mean, I would love to have a fight club where it's just Karens in Maple Grove. I would love that. I would pay. Someone paid $50 for the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones fight. I would pay $90 for a lineup of just Karens from the suburbs, and the winner gets a $400 50-inch screen TV that they have to pay for. They still have to pay for it. They just get a discount, and that would be my favorite thing. I last week I told you guys, because my time in North Minneapolis is coming to an end one way or the other. I've been telling you the three craziest things that I've seen in 18 years of living in my urban community. I am moving. I moved to North Minneapolis 20 years ago. I did my part. I helped gentrify the neighborhood, and then now I'm moving because it's just too pale yuppie for me now. So anyway, last week I told you guys that my third craziest thing was while I was driving down Dowling and Penn, I saw a grown man with a full-size boa constrictor around his neck dancing to Tupac, I believe is what he was dancing to. And that was only the third weirdest thing I've seen. The second weirdest thing was in the house that I live in now. I woke up, I had to work like late, so I woke up at like 7:30, and it was like a Saturday, and I had to go into work. And I looked out my window, and my neighbor to my neighbor, 2 houses down, was out there with a baseball bat, and she looked like any other neighbor. She was out there just kind of in the morning, looked like she was going to do some gardening or maybe some leaf cleanup of some kind. But right at that moment, as I'm sitting in my robe and just my underwear and my robe, drinking some coffee, she pulls out a baseball bat and starts destroying the van parked in front of her house. Now, I have no idea whose van this is. So all of a sudden, a gentleman comes out of her house and realizes that she is smashing in his van. Now, I've seen people hit things with a baseball bat a lot of times in baseball, mafia movies, things like that. I've never seen somebody so cruel destroy something with a baseball bat where there was like no anger. And in my experience in this world, if you get a woman to that point where she's not angry, she's just destroying your car, go lock the fucking doors, because some stuff is coming. The hurricane is hurricane revenge, the women know well. But she destroyed this entire van, and then he came out and tried to get in it, okay, to move the van so she would stop hitting her with a baseball bat. She overpowered him, ripped him out of the driver's seat, got into his car. He got in front of the car. Now, again, mind you, this is happening right outside my front window. This is 2 houses down, and I've been up for like 10 minutes. So I'm just watching this. Well, God bless you, North Minneapolis. You're always in the She runs him over in his car, moves out of the way, and hits a random car on the street that's directly across from my house. As it turns out, the car she hit was her car. If you have never accidentally hit your own car while driving your spouse's car that you just stole and destroyed with a baseball bat, you don't know true love, I guess. Is my point. It's the classic Romeo and Juliet story, you know? Boy meets girl, girl meets boy, half my neighborhood gets destroyed. You know what I mean? There's a little poem for the best part of this is I'm always down for truth. I don't like to talk to the police. I live in North Minneapolis. We live by a strict code of ethics. Snitches get stitches. But I did see the cops, after this dude just had his van destroyed, beat up by his girl. I mean, he got punked on the north side. That can't be fun. And run over with his own car. The police put him in the back of the cop car. And so I ran out in my Jedi bathrobe that's usually hanging over my door there. It's I'm assuming made for children, but it's for Jedi and me. I went out to talk to the police in that, and I was like, hey. I was like, no, she ran him over with the car. She destroyed all this. And the cop literally looked at me and was like, get back in your house. And I was like, why won't you listen to me? And apparently the arresting officer was Wonder Day. And domestics only happen if it's a man versus a woman. And if you're a woman, you can literally destroy someone's van, run him over in the van, and he'll still somehow get arrested. And I have still to this day no idea how the hell that happened.
Dang. Oh, dang.
And that was the second craziest?
What was that?
Number 2?
Yeah, and then I'll do the last one just because I'll forget it. As I used to have to go to work at 5 a.m, and this was my first house, which was on 30th and Emerson, which is in the Jordan neighborhood, which is the worst neighborhood in North Minneapolis as far as crime goes. Big, beautiful houses. I had great neighbors. But anyway, I'm driving to work, and the prostitutes were out in the morning, and they were ending their night as I was leaving to begin mine. And the prostitute that was on the corner said the funniest thing ever to me. She literally yelled at me, and she goes, hey, baby, you ever fucked a white girl? And I was like... It's like 97% of my business. You know what I mean? But she got my attention. It was brilliant. Like, I was like, I mean, had she said anything else, in hindsight, if I were her pimp or her marketing director or whatever you're supposed to call it today, I don't know. But how funny would it have been if she'd been like, hey, baby, you ever fucked a North Korean? And I'd be like, no one really has ever done that. And then I'd be like, you're white. And then, but you stopped. And now you have to pay for my services. Yeah, is that my 5 minutes? I could do one more.
Yeah, we got it. Humans of the internet, give it up.
Comic in residence. That was his third week of 8 of brand new material just for the Monday Night Comic Show audience.
North Minneapolis has been good to me.
18 years,
18 years in the hood. Now my neighbors are white, and I don't like it. I'm joking.
Chris Maddock wants you to make your bed.
The dogs just ruin it. The dogs literally, I make the bed, and then they clump it all back up and lay on it. That's what he did.
Sorry, Nick, but that's a good boy who can't do anything wrong.
What a
good boy.
Is touching me on my toes almost every moment of the day.
Sorry, Nick, I'm talking to Aries right now. Could you get off camera? Aries. Hey, baby. Hey, Aries.
You can't hear him, but he's actually grunting. He's actually going, you can't really hear.
Aries, you're the best.
He is going,
All right, everybody, let's give it up for Comic in Residence, Aries Wilson. Someone who has done 5 new minutes a million times at the Monday Night Comedy Show is coming up next. We finally had to tell him, hey, stop it. You're making all the other comics in town look bad during this pandemic because you're coming up with new hot shit every week, and it's disgusting how funny it is. Everybody, put your hands together for Joe Christensen.
Hey, thanks, everybody. And congratulations on your big day, too. I know everyone's pretty proud. Glad I'm not in school anymore. I wasn't a popular kid in school. Like, the kids all hated me because I was, raising my hand all the time. And the teacher really hated me because the only question I would ask is, hey, what's your name again, lady? Can we go over that again? I miss having a job where I can interact with people, personally. Like one time I was this door-to-door salesman And like the most fun thing about being a door-to-door salesman is you get to do product demonstrations. So like I'd hop into a house, I'd be like, hey, check this shit out. And then I'd pour wine all over their carpet. And then I'd take out the product, this 13-inch German kitchen knife. And I would say, thanks to this product, only $59.99. I can pour as much wine on your carpet as I want to. And there's nothing you can do about it. Quarantine's been kind of fun. I don't think I've gone crazy under quarantine. Like I'm not one of those person that line the entire perimeter of their bedroom with a bunch of jars of urine. Nope. Still just one big jar. Here's a little travel tip. If you're ever taken by cannibals and one of them starts pouring Heinz 57 sauce on your leg, that's probably the new guy. Haven't gotten used to the taste. I like telling people about your dreams. You know, I think it's kind of a fun conversation, but you know when someone's like actually in your dream and you want to tell them about it, I feel like you got to leave certain things out sometimes, right? Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like my neighbor, he was in my dream, and in the dream, he transformed into a horse. And then I rode him around the Wild West going on adventures. So I ended up telling him about my dream, but I make sure to leave out, you know, the part about how it was a lucid dream. And that was exactly what I was going for. All right. We were at a family reunion, and my cousins and I, we were razzing my grandpa. We were razzing him good, and after a while, he's like, you wouldn't be so hard on old Gramps if you could walk a mile in my shoes. So we tried on his shoes, and damn, those orthopedic shoes are really comfy. I'm glad I've never had a traumatic brain injury. Mm-hmm. Now, all my brain injuries have been chill as hell. I like Lucky Jeans. I started buying Lucky Jeans. The fun thing about Lucky Jeans is on the inside of the fly, it says Lucky You. And I always wondered what that was, but I looked it up. And the reason it says Lucky You on the fly is that's for the person who is lucky enough to open it up. You guys get it? Okay. So it's for Daryl, my zipper repair guy. Which I appreciate because he lets me keep him on. Process. He's great. Very professional. I had a call to get my car towed yesterday. Nothing's wrong with it, though. It just likes to be held. Just gets lonely. If you had to play musical chairs at my grandma's house, the two musicals would be Cats and Hair. I'm one of those persons that celebrates his birthday for a whole week. But I think it's fair because that's about how long I was turtling in and out of there for. I've never done one of those meat raffles, but one time I did rock, paper, scissors for a hot dog. Gotta learn how to talk. I'm trying to convince my girlfriend to pose for a picture. What I want is to have a picture of her on a horse with heels on. Because in my opinion, there's nothing sexier than a real tall horse. I think having sex is a lot like a four-way intersection. You know, stopping at a four-way intersection, having sex. For one, it's dangerous. Number two, I don't know who's supposed to make the first move. And also, one time I killed a guy. I used to like going on road trips with my dad. It was so much fun growing up, going on road trips with my dad. Like out of nowhere, he'd say, "Hey fam, pack up. It's time for a road trip." And then we'd all pile into the station wagon. And then he'd throw the map out the window and say, "We won't be needing this." Then my brother would ask where we're going. Then my dad would say, "Hell if I know." And then we'd sit there for a while. And my dad would start crying. And then we'd just go back in the house. Do you guys know you can get discounted fruit if you don't mind about that fruit having certain flaws? Like I bought some apples for 30 cents a pound, and the only thing wrong with them is they look like shit and tasted like shit. Oh man, I don't do one night stands anymore. I think they're kind of they're scary. You know, you don't know what you're getting into. The worst one is right after we had sex, the woman took out her teeth and put it in a glass of water. Yeah, and they weren't dentures. Yeah, I think there was something wrong with that lady. All right. I'm one of those guys that still likes to handwrite replies to letters. I think it's pretty fun because it's not that hard. It's not actually that hard. All I do is I write new mailbox. Who this? I'm thinking about starting to use a French press to make coffee.
Mm.
Yeah, and stop using, a French press to do the enhanced interrogation of goldfish. Oh, because that's dumb. They don't remember shit. Do you guys know those people? I don't think I could do this. I don't think I could go to one of those furry conventions dressed as an animal just to have sex. Like it's not me. Like I get it, but that's not what gets me going. But I do go dressed as a fire hydrant. Pretty fun. I don't think I could ever live in Tokyo, Japan. Because in Tokyo, Japan, I don't know if you know this, but it's kind of... they have vending machines that sell women's soiled panties, which is really fucked up. Like they're putting all those mom and pop soiled panties stores out of business. Pretty sad. I think there's so much hypocrisy when it comes to art and art appreciation. Like a cello virtuoso could be playing at a busy train station and it's no big deal. Everyone just walks on by. But when the exact same cellist is at an orchestra hall, everyone gets really angry when I make choo-choo sounds. I once saw a bodybuilder at the gym that had really bad posture. Yeah, he had scoliosis. Okay. You can tell if you have a cool job by whether or not you get to wear goggles. Do you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Because you wear goggles, it means you're like an Olympic swimmer or a World War II fighter pilot or the nearsighted center for the Cleveland Cavaliers. My girlfriend bought a leather leash for me at a sex shop.
Oh?
Yeah, best gift ever. It's definitely going to spice things up in the bedroom. Plus, I'll stop getting lost at the mall. All right, that's it for me. Thanks, everybody.
Humans went to the internet. Give it up for Joe Christensen.
Excellent job. Joe Christensen, folks. Oh, my God. You're the best, Joe. By sound of applause, who is having a great time at our 600th show? We do tips. You can tip the performers, and by visiting our Venmo / Monday Night Comedy Show, and we'll make sure we Venmo your Venmo to them. Venmo, and our comics will be paid up to 88 cents for comedy at our 600th show. Popular.
This is where the sad music plays over.
Wait, I didn't give you my Venmo?
To ask for the handouts. Just
every time you performed,
that's one of the things I've done. Why don't ask me for this info?
You've performed on dry nights when we don't have people who have their family members donating.
I do it for the love of the game anyway.
Sure, yes, that's what I've been doing for 599 shows. Love of the game. Yeah, very good. Speaking of love of the game, the reason for the season of us moving from the Beat Coffee House to a bar underground in Northeast Minneapolis is coming up next, and I'm pleased as hell that she said yes. Carly Dreadlocktopussy.
Yeah. I switched it from Carpe D's Nuts this week.
I like that very much.
I was feeling more like a feminist, so I went Dreadlocktopussy.
I like that.
So Carly McMenamin, everyone, let's clap for her!
So, I know that some of you have been following me on my health journey. For those of you that are new to this soiree, the HPV that's been overtaking my body for my 20s because I like to party, I finally got a day job with health insurance so I could, go back at it. I had to get the vaporization surgery. For those of you that don't know what that is or aren't familiar, it's basically when you get LASIK on your brown eye, except the only difference is that it's worse than LASIK because a week after you get LASIK, you can wipe your eyes. So the update on my health journey here is that I had my follow-up with the doctor, and he gave me a little diagram. Can you see that?
No.
Okay, so the doctor. Let me get closer. Damn it!
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, very nice.
Thanks, Carly.
So you're welcome. So when the doctor showed that to me, my response wasn't, shit, fine. It was actually, I gotta switch career fields so I can draw buttholes for my customers. So I'm going to medical school to be a butthole doctor. I spent too much time finding my medical textbooks and not enough time taking my jokes off of my phone so I could tell them into my phone. So we're going to go a different route today. And I found my second most recent comedy notebook. And let's see what's in here that I haven't used at Minkus yet. Huh? So I wrote a haiku. I actually don't know why I've not used this. I'm gonna be honest. I just think the page got buried because it's between a joke I use and then a joke about when animals attack that was only kind of funny. So I wrote what appears to be a haiku about butt play. He let me put it in his butt. This is not a haiku. Near or far, never stop exploring. Always learning, loving, and whoring. Include the taint when you suck on his balls. Insert a finger or something as small. And remember to say, this doesn't make you gay. All right. I actually had a guy one time say that to me, and we weren't even like, it was in a semi-professional setting when we were like talking shit, and I was talking about like putting stuff in men's buttholes, and this guy, and he was a beautiful man, tipped me and said, "So you have sex with gay men?" And I was like taken aback because I'm like, is it 1986? No, you. No, because I'm not a man putting stuff in a man's butt. That's what makes him not. Okay. So it was. This is a fun one. If I died in my apartment, Domino's would be the first to know. In a romantic movie, people meet by bumping into each other, dropping stuff, and then helping each other pick it up. I think this is bullshit because I'm still single, even though I do my taxes in a mosh pit. Here's this page-long joke about when I accidentally took ecstasy before work. Still hilarious to me, not to any of you. I've already learned this. There's the cooking joke. That was gold. You guys remember when I reviewed 50 Shades of Grey for my residency? Yeah. That's the only reason I saw 50 Shades of Grey. So I could bitch about it and say, yeah, I did see it, actually. I did. I was at a music festival, and somebody walked by and offered me some meth lollipops. I was like, no, I'll take some actual meth or lollipops, but not something of both. I cannot imagine how awful those lollipops would taste. And like, I'm a fat girl, so I have a low tolerance for candy I'm willing to eat, right? Like, the bar is low here. And I'm still like, I don't want candy uppers, I'm sorry. Try to fucking get a little hammer, and I would like bust the lollipop apart and try to fucking snort it. Right? They're like, you're doing it wrong. Like, you save calories and it burns even worse. I don't remember this whole joke. It just says, I'd be a terrible martyr because I bitch while they hammered in the nails. Jesus. There's a lot of shit in here that I see why I didn't go anywhere. It's full dark and would not have aged well.
What year was that?
This would have been right after my cousin died. So the real dark face.
Oh.
I'm glad that got the biggest laugh. I'm glad that did. To practice my Spanish, I started reading books in Spanish, but I forgot how quickly you lose that skill. So when I tried to read Dracula, as far as I got was capítulo uno. It's also very telling that I assume that Dracula and Count Chocula, same fucking guy. Same guy as Jesus too, as far as I give a shit, right? Like, all made up. I don't give a fuck. This was a fun one. I bought a pigeon at Big Lots for $5.
Oh, damn.
It was a great marketing ploy they had because they were the homing pigeons or whatever. So what you do is you train it where it lives, and then you set it free, and then it actually just comes right back because it doesn't want freedom. But what they did is they really underestimated how long it would take you to retrain it. So you would get home and test it out, and it would just fly right the fuck back to that Asian family in the parking lot at Big Lots. Then they just resell it. And that's why they had so many pigeons landing in the pigeon sale. first I thought it was just a neat trick. Now I understand it's fraud. Here's one that never made it off the ground. I gotta at least read it a little bit to see how I'm gonna open it, because it's just a 2-page long list about banging. Basically, the premise of the joke is, because of how I've lived my life, obvi from the HPV, I feel like making love would be boring. Jesus Christ. Tiny kisses on my forehead. Oh, my fucking shorthand. This does not help us at all. Tenderly caressing each other because every part of them is perfect. It's not going to work. I rarely come from massages. Entwining our bodies so we can be as connected as physically possible. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be gross with all the sweat and lube I'll have involved. And then I'm guessing we're going to cuddle afterwards. Well, maybe you. I'm not, because I want a fucking sandwich. Yeah, it just goes downhill from there. I got my compliment roast. Oh, yeah. Start of my pandemonium. Hello, I'd like a lean Cubano. Ma'am, we don't sell sandwiches here. Yeah, I know. Sorry, Andy, I did puns at your 600th show. I didn't mean to dirty it in such a manner.
Fix it in post. It's okay.
Okay, so I found some jokes that I tell that are new and good, so I'll end on those two. So, as I'm sure everybody here knows, I say that, and it's just my dogs in the room. They're being surprisingly quiet. My nipples are pierced, and it's weird having my nipples pierced because they're like really obvious now. So, like if I wear a sports bra or something, I have to spend more time adjusting my tits like in my shirt than I actually have to spend working out, because like my nipples are all like, it looks like I have 6 nipples. I mean, not like 6 nipples, but like 3 and 3. So like technically with my setup now, if I did have a litter, I'd have 2 fat ones and 4 dead ones. My clit is also pierced. That was an unexpected, call it a happy accident. I didn't anticipate the difference in sensation when you would throw a metal rod through your hoo-hoo button. So for the first couple weeks, I could not have an orgasm because it just got too intense that I would just have to crap out right away, right? So one day I was like, I'm sick of giving myself blue balls. This is bullshit. I'm going to finish the job I started. So I just tied a vibrator to my fucking pelvis and just went at it hard. And then I guess passed out, I think like 10 minutes in. And I woke up an undetermined amount of time later. And I was all covered in my own cum and vomit. I was like, huh. Didn't know I was into that, but sweet. I have a joke I never tried that I will just give you the preview of. It just says, first time squirting. Teenager alone, thought I was gross. And now I'm terrified. More next time.
Humans of the internet, give it up for
Carly. Woo. Carly, we love you. Thank you for getting us kicked out of the Christian coffee shop all those shows ago. we love you.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yes. And now the reason we got kicked out of Spring Street Tavern, essentially the reason for the global pandemic, your next comic doing 5 brand new minutes. This is his what, 5th of 8 weeks as comic in residence. Everybody start clapping freaking out. Make lots of noise for 5 new from Patrick Ryan.
Hello. I tried a new setup tonight. I was hoping for higher video quality, but it might have lessened the sound quality. And I felt like that was a fair trade-off because everything that has ever come out of my mouth is not worth hearing. So, before I get started, this is just completely true. This is not material that I wrote, but my dog pissed in my Adidas. So I've been wearing these running shoes that I bought like 4 years ago that have been gathering dust, and they're comfortable as shit. Turns out running shoes are really it's like walking on pillows that are made out of orgasms. And if you haven't worn running shoes, go buy a pair. And if wherever you work, that's not part of like the uniform policy or whatever, go to your boss and slit their fucking throat and fuck the hole in their neck. And tell them, be like, bitch, affordable, comfortable footwear is praxis, bitch. Fucking, gotta do it. Definitely, I'm A6 from here on out, man. That's my shit.
Wow.
Yeah, wow is right. It's not something I ever would have thought.
Never. Damn.
I like the brand with the 3 stripes. They look nice, but you know what? They don't feel like this.
They
right?
don't feel nice.
Like an ugly chick with a nice pussy. You know what I mean? It's just...
Patrick.
I don't think about the things that I say, which is why writing comedy is so hard for me. So of all the dumb things that I have done for comic in residence, this might be the dumbest.
Oh yeah.
Stuck for what to write about. I decided on going the fanfic route, and what I have done is I have written the death of several famous fictional characters. Because with a lot of these characters, the last you hear from them, it's riding off into the sunset. It's happily ever after. They got to die sometime. It happens to all of us, especially you. So that I wanted that to be the name of my album. If I ever pull one out, is Everyone Dies, Especially You. So here we go. These are how I envisioned the deaths of some famous fictional characters. We're going to start with Dorothy Gale from Wizard of Oz fame. Syphilis. And her little dog, too. I like that one because Frank Baum, the creator of Wizard of Oz, a terrible piece of shit. Wow. Just look him up. And not only that, but I kind of get a kick out of the idea that they turned his political allegory about the silver standard into a all ages musical. And he's just like from beyond the grave. Okay. All right. Jesus Christ of Nazareth died of infection after a very simple surgery. As it turns out, the physician did not wash his hands. It's like 2 people. Most people who would get that fucking tuned out the instant I came on screen. Peter Pan fucked to death in prison. No, it's especially tragic because he was completely innocent. His shadow did it. Sarah Connor, killed by a human. Come the fuck on! Like, what are you doing? They're not all good. Okay, I didn't remember all these until I'm now reading them, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! I gotta say it though. That's my whole career.
Yeah.
It's like I don't remember writing some of this shit. Then I get out with my notebook. I'm like, here we go. Kermit the Frog, found murdered in an alley with few clues as to who the perpetrator was. The only fingerprints found on the scene were in the victim's anus.
Mm.
He's a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I can't believe I had to explain that.
Me neither.
I'm going to skip this one for now. We'll come back to it. Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. The Power of Friendship. Jessica Rabbit died during the birth of her 6,398th child.
Oh.
So dumb. Don't laugh. Arthur Fonzarelli, a.k.a. the Fonz, motorcycle crash. The twist. He was a passenger. He let Richie wear the jacket. If you ride, wear your leathers, okay? Don't. You're not invulnerable. Mickey Mouse passed peacefully in bed, surrounded by his loved ones, none of whom had any idea about his terrible secret and the astonishing number of lives that he took just because he felt like it. Ronald McDonald died from apparent self-inflicted autoerotic asphyxiation. Foul play was initially suspected. As it turns out, the people that saw his toes touching the ground didn't realize it was just big shoes. I told you this is the dumbest one.
The best quote for all of his jokes.
Yes.
It's after everyone. I like that joke.
I'm the anal cunt of comedy. It's really, they're all very dumb. Comedy is dumb. Scooby and Scrappy Doo died of state-imposed lethal injection after the brutal killing of Peter Pan.
I like that.
Charlie Brown, and no one's really sure how Charlie Brown died, but we do know that he did die based on the discovery of his remains, partially buried remains by a tree. But decades later, the only people that remember that saw him the last night that he was seen was at a Halloween party where he was dressed as a kite. This is totally my style, though. It's like, I'll get everyone one at a time. Like, oh, you got that one, you got that one. Bugs Bunny was forced to suck dick at gunpoint before being shot in the head, leaving a spray of blood and spunk on the wall. Carved into his back was the word stinker.
Oh.
Yes.
Barbie. We know the doll sensation. Barbie killed by Mickey Mouse, though not one of his many murder victims. No. She died of a broken heart.
Oh.
Still Mickey's fault. One more, huh? Fucking mouse. What else we got? Indiana Jones. Death by Carly.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't remember her? She was on right before me. I saved the best for last. This is you can tune out now if you want to. This is a super deep cut. This is going to be one of my most unenjoyable exits from a set. But I I saved it for last because it's my personal favorite fictional character of all time, and that is the Thing from Fantastic Four, who is, in my estimation, the greatest superhero of all time. Had kind of his own TV show. It was Fred and Barney Meets the Thing. That was a real thing that happened. You can look it up. It's bizarre as shit. Now, my death for him, like I said, is kind of a deep cut. It's not for everybody. Again, tune out now. The Thing is nigh immortal because, as is recently established in canon within the last 10 years, he only ages 1 week a year when he reverts back to regular human form. So many centuries from now, an aging Ben Grimm is on his couch in a New York apartment playing a fiddle, and he recites the Shema before he finally passes of old age, and anyone who is listening closely can hear the sound of wings. Yeah, you're fucking confused, and that's my set. I don't give a fuck. Have a great night, y'all. Thank you so much for having me on the 600th episode.
Humans of the internet, give it up for Patrick Ryan Power.
Patrick!
I don't know why. I saw everyone else doing it.
That was a deep cut. Explain that joke in the comments.
Okay, the Facebook comments or
whatever.
Yeah. Facebook comments.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do my best to explain it. I like this. I like talking to you after my set. It's like Johnny asking you to the couch.
You've done good. You've done good.
Yeah.
These couches are probably cleaner though.
Yeah, you don't want any couches related to the Monday Night Comedy Show ever.
Cover the couch.
Imagine sucking Johnny Carson's dick. Like especially like when he got old, you know, like what is old dick even like?
You'll find out soon enough.
Like the cock fills with blood, and it smooths out. Does that stay? Does it just fill with more blood and then it's like so smooth, or like is it wrinkly?
You should Google it. I bet you can Google that.
Took us 600 shows to ask the real question.
Google it. Google it and get back to us.
Yeah, Google it. Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Next
I will
time.
just put a direct link in the comments to what I find. And I'm going to hyperlink the title to something like Carly's new promo. You guys check it out. And you'll click on it.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be potentially a wrinkly schlong. Right?
Well, would it even feel good?
Hyperlink it to like
leathery, wrinkly flesh.
It's the Wonder Woman 84 trailer. And
oh my god.
Mandalorian this way.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Oh, Bailey has a great suggestion, Peebo. It's make Peebo do a set focusing on Johnny Carson. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. We'll even bring a couch.
I'll just tackle the
we'll have a
greatest
couch.
comedian.
Yeah, we'll have a couch and we'll put our laptop with since we're social distancing right now and no one's allowed in the studio.
Right.
We're just gonna put our laptop in here. It'll be like Space Ghost, coast to coast. Well, thank you, Patrick. One more time for Patrick Bauer. It was his 5th week as comic in residence. Next week, at our show, or maybe 2 weeks from tonight, Rebecca Wilson is going to start the comic in residence program for 8 weeks. So it's probably hers is probably gonna run into 2021. So there's an 8-week commitment where you do
Don't die
5
on
random
camera.
minutes each week, and you only perform it here at the Monday at our streaming show. All right, so I'm having a good time. Kruger, are you having a good time?
Oh, having a good time.
May, are you having a good time?
I'm always having a good time.
Did you see that I finally brought on Karen Pickering? She's been sitting in the wings waiting patiently for me to,
Hi, you guys.
And Elizabeth.
Everybody say hi to Karen.
Hello.
Why are you mad? Oh no, don't be mad. I want to see. I want you to Google that withered dick thing because I.
Oh, she wants it too.
I think that's Carly's next album cover, man. With the dress. I think that would be.
You know what,
so,
Carly?
Got them
Actually,
like hotcakes. Just.
I think did Carly leave? Carly had to leave, but I will actually send her a text asking her to take a screenshot or a photo of her brown, like better term, brown eye illustration.
Oh yeah,
And
the picture, the illustration.
I am going to give that to Doug Kahlberg for our next poster, and he's going to work it in, kind of like how like Monet used to, or artists like sign their name in clever ways in their pieces. And
you mean like the castle of the little mermaid?
That
thing?
Exactly.
Yes.
Is find the brown eye on the Monday Night Comedy Show poster.
That's yeah.
600 of them.
Right.
Here we are, folks, down to our last two comics. Woo! Yes! Welcome back to the Monday.
I'm doing it. I have my layers all set up.
I love it.
My den of iniquity. You might hear the furnace a little bit. I might have to go put some clothes in the dryer and the cat might come down. I gave permission that she could come down, so she might come down and heckle me, but that's fine. I'm in a Papasan chair, so you can't hurt me because I feel nothing. It's awesome. I don't feel my toes. That's actually a thing. The floor is that cold, or my toes are just not on board. Not on board. So this weekend I rewatched Forrest Gump for the first time in a really long time. And first of all, fuck that movie. I don't know. I'm conflicted in a negative way about it. But also when I first watched it, my mom she thought that Gary Sinise actually didn't have legs. And she was like, isn't it amazing that not only does not having legs not affect his acting career, but it also helps him sometimes, like when the character doesn't have legs, like Lieutenant Dan. And she kind of thought it was like a Marley Matlin situation where the character happened to not have legs and he also didn't have legs. So I went like around for years and years thinking like, incorrectly that Gary Sinise was such a brave man. Okay. Just like pretending to have legs in all of these other roles that he was in. And then I turned 8 and I realized that my mom is not the best person for opinions like this. I saw him in like People magazine in like swim trunks and he had like legs. Okay. Legs. And in my teen years, I actually got into fights with her about it. And I said, he has legs. And she's like, no, those are titanium. I'm like, no, they're real legs. He's always had them. He's always had those legs. And I show her pictures and she's like, I don't believe it. She also voted for Trump, if that makes any sense. So I just started watching this. It's a limited documentary series, a true crime limited documentary series called The Reagans. And I think, okay, here's my review of it. Fuck Ronald Reagan, fuck Nancy Reagan. They're awful. They're so awful. And I think it's not like you get older and you hate them less. It's like you just hate them for different reasons. Like I never really hated Nancy Reagan in particular. Like she was just one of these, she's a Republican. So whatever. I don't have to have a reason. Right. But in the documentary, they talk about how she hated living in the governor's mansion. She thought it was a dump. She thought the White House was a dump. She hated everywhere she lived. And at no point did she pay a mortgage. She never paid rent. She never paid a mortgage. And, going back to Forrest Gump, I was watching Forrest Gump and I'm like, that fucker never paid rent either. Forrest Gump never paid rent. He never paid a mortgage. That's why he could run for like 3 years. He didn't have to have a job. Like his parents own land, landowners. So much for his like difficult life. Like money is not even a thing in Forrest Gump. Nobody needs money. Watch it with your eyes open. Nobody needs money. Money doesn't exist. Jenny, stripped down to nothing for nothing. Okay. It's just like you watch that fucking feather float around and you're like, who paid for that feather? Who paid for that fucking feather? Nobody? Okay. Feathers, free feathers, huh? Okay. I believe that. I totally believe that. So I just started, I found a fitness guru person, fitness video creator person on YouTube, and I really like her. Okay. So she just did a video about how she got COVID and it was really bad. And she's not back to normal yet, but it makes her really great. It makes her really great at making videos because she needs to take constant breaks to catch her breath. And I also need constant breaks to catch my breath, not from COVID, but from fat. That's why. So she's fantastic. Nice. I love her. But there was this, you fall asleep to somebody on YouTube, and then you wake up many hours later, and it's like a video of theirs, but it's like, okay, what is this even? Like, it was just a decluttering video of hers I woke up to, and I'm like, okay, I like watching people clean, but it was just like her taking bag after bag of trash out of the house, putting it in like the neighbor's yard, and I'm like, this is just like. When you go to someone's house, your friend's house, and you're there to pick her up for a concert, and she does not have her shit together. She's still like trying to find another shoe, and you agreed to this time to fucking get her. You bought her the ticket, and it's like, bitch, get your shit together. We're gonna go see The Gossip. It's time. Stop. Okay, like, okay, The Gossip has been done for a while, but anyway, it gave me like old vibes of like, oh, I miss that. I miss being like taken for granted by my friends and watching them clean and like do their laundry. And it's like, okay, get your shit together. It's time, bitch. It's time. Let's go. Okay. But you get to smoke more. So that's fun. So I saw a friend of mine at the gas station. It was totally unplanned. And I was so excited. Because I haven't seen hardly anybody in like almost a year. Yeah. I've gone without seeing a lot of people. And, was she my first pick to see? Mm-mm. She wasn't my first pick, but she's what I got. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I will accept that. It was amazing. But she caught me on my way back from being in the gas station where I bought like a couple of those like really dank sugar cookies that are like free for $2.39. And I was excited to see her. Yes, very excited. But also I had cookies, right? Like fresh cookies, fresh enough cookies. And she's like, talking about what her plans are for Thanksgiving. Nothing. She didn't have plans really. I think she was like, oh, I'm going to hang out. It's like, yeah, that's what we're all fucking doing. And I'm like, wrap it up. Cause I'm thinking, I'm excited to see her, but I'm also ashamed because I have these dank cookies, but I'm also excited because I have these dank cookies. And, yeah. And then I told her, I have these cookies, and she's like, girl, just go. Just go eat your cookies. She knows what it's like, I think. And also I got, they have these new Oreo cookies. This is just like a PSA. They have how they have the regular cookies, then they have the double stuff, and now they have one Oreos called the most stuff. Oh, it's fucking bullshit. Okay. Oh yeah. It's not that much stuff. They're still deficient in my opinion. I ate them anyway, so still be cautious if you're like thinking I need the most stuff and you buy it. It's wrong. It's not even close. What you need to do, they have these like bulk sacks of just the cream you can buy. They're like 2-pound sacks of cream. So I know what I'm getting for Christmas for myself is that. It's gonna be sad and great also. Let's see. Oh, so this year I decided to do like Christmas photo cards just because like why not? I guess I've never been that person. I don't have like kids to show off or anything, but I'm like, okay, I'll do the thing. And my boyfriend's kind of upset about it because, okay, it's not because he hates Christmas. It's because all the photos on the card are just me. I just wanted a lot of pictures of myself on our Christmas card. And, he's like, could you at least not send them to my family and my friends? And I'm like, but they need to know that I got new headshots. Okay. Like they can't not know. Right. They need to find out. Okay. And I've realized lately that I'm too sad to talk to myself anymore. It's like, what's the point? I'm not really listening. I never respond. It's not really going anywhere. Which is like, I mean, maybe it's for the best. There's cameras all over the house. Who knows who's watching what? Like, I could talk to myself and say something really, I don't know. I don't say anything of any value anymore. I work in marketing, so I'm just it's like the most smoke and mirrors kind of bullshit in the world, and I kind of hate it. But yeah, you can do it from home, and you can do it while you're clinically insane or whatever. You can do it manic depressed. You can do it with ADD. You can do it from bed. You can do it while you're sleeping. You don't have to be awake for marketing. You really don't. That's like amateur hour. Be asleep. Just let it happen. Let me think what else. I think that's it. I think that's all I got right now. Sorry. The cat might come down.
Humans of the internet, give it up for Elizabeth S.
I love it. Elizabeth S. Oh, thank you for being a part of our 600th show, Elizabeth.
I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely a pleasure. You inspired some, just a flurry of comments. First off, from David. Oh, well, from Kruger. Kruger wrote this one: "Get your loved ones a 2-pound sack of cream."
Yeah.
David Mutter needs to know where he can find these sacks of cream.
Everybody's into that cream.
And then, Sherry brings us back to earth. It's mostly shortening and sugar.
Yeah, the best parts.
The best part of anything. That's what I love in my food. Some people like MSG. I just like shortening and sugar. That's why I have type 2 diabetes. This is kind of a non sequitur. My 4 kitties are conked out. They go spaz out.
Not a cat.
Cat spaz? Yep.
Cat spaz? Is that?
Oh yeah.
When you feed them shortening and sugar? Yeah.
Cats just like
Back and forth.
like crazy at 3 a.m. because I'm a cat.
Yeah. It's because they're herding ghosts. That's what they do. If you have a cat, when they're looking at the wall, they're looking at a dead person from the 1800s who blames you for their death. I watch too many scary movies. Anyway, let's see. Bailey's, don't slam MSG. Got MSG in one hand and shortening and sugar in the other. Which one are you going to choose?
Just slam it all over.
What are you going to put in your bowl of ramen noodles? Shortening and sugar, Bailey. Shortening and sugar. There are nursery rhymes written about sugar and shortening and everything nice. That's what little babies are made of.
But there's that other
Yeah, rapists are made of MSG.
No, that's not how it goes. It's all the people that are really great are made of monosodium glutamate.
Oh, because it rhymes. That was good. That's like Dr. Seuss level shit.
Yeah. Separate shows. You think I'm an
You're not. This is not your first rodeo, sir. We were going to have Michael Schaefer be the new Poet Lafayette of the Monday.
He still should be.
Yeah, he probably should, but briefly considered.
Well, that's very sweet of you.
It's always good to be a
sugar. That's what comedy show hosts are made of.
Sacks of cream. Is that where we ended on?
Well, that's where the show is going. Sacks of cream, but it's going in a positive direction because our final comic of the night at our 600 show is our dear friend Karen Pickering.
Thank you guys. Thanks so much, you guys. It's great to be here. Thanks for letting me come on late because I was at work, and I know you guys are angry, but I just love you, and you're just so amazing. I don't even have lipstick on because I was like in such a rush. I thought, God, I'm going to be late for my own Zoom, doing a Zoom thing in my house, and I promised you guys I'd be in, but my job is retail, and I was delivering a shoe to a house in the neighborhood, and a dog decided to come around the corner and looked like it was going to attack me. The dog was all of 8 pounds, but acted like it was about 70, And the police were called. No, they weren't. It was just my neighbor came out in her pajamas and forgot that I was dropping the shoe off. And somebody else across the street did call the police on me, and I waved them off. So no, these things only happen to me in the suburbs. And I hate to discuss the suburbs because I really want to live in Minneapolis. And this COVID thing, 8-9 months now at home. I go out to my job and then I come back in to the area, and I am such a city person, and I can't, it's not crowded enough for me, even with everybody home, even with the dogs, the kids, and everything. It's just not crowded. But there's a word with all this stuff that's happened. We're all coming up with new expressions and things. I was talking to my dad on the phone, and he said to me, he goes, the new word for COVID, the action verb, is flinch. Flinch is just something we do. If somebody is coming into our zone, they're coming into 5, 4, 3, 2 feet, we flinch. And I started to think of the Rocky Horror Picture Show when they're dancing. And I thought, oh my God, we got to have the flinch dance. We got to do something with the flinch. So at work today, I'm trying to get my team members, because we're supposed to be selling shoes, but not a lot of people are rushing out for a sandal here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, you guys, we've got to come up with this flinch dance. And it's so weird because we were like 8 of us spread around the store, flinching, moving our arms and flinching. You guys know what I mean by flinch, right? You're kind of surprised, but you don't want to get too close. But I got to tell you, I would really like to get close to people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even the 90-year-old lady in the neighborhood that hates me. No, she hates me. And I'm going to tell you why. I work out in the neighborhood without a mask on. I go out and do my thing, my walking, my fast-paced hiking with my little headset on. And this is a true story here. Why the hell would I lie to the Monday night group, for God's sakes? We talked about withered dicks and everything else tonight. I love that you guys still talk about dicks. I just think it's fabulous. It is. I promised my kids I wouldn't drop the F-bomb. My son is in Massachusetts and they're supposed to be watching the show, but it's 11 o'clock there. Nancy Castagna, hello. Thanks for staying up late out there. Now back to dicks. The 90-year-old lady in the neighborhood, seriously, has made a sign. She took an old realtor sign. Maybe she or the old man she lives with. Actually, the old man she lives with is her 70-year-old son. And she has this sign that says, wear your mask. And she walks around the sidewalks with it. Okay, now we're all houses on like 1/3 of an acre. We were built way back in the 70s. There's no reason to worry about. If I don't have a mask on, you're 3 blocks the other way. What the heck is your problem? But she could say, have Black Lives Matter or something on that, and it would be better. But no. Wear your mask. And and she's not like she's walking through Target with it or anything, where there's a lot of people. I don't know. And you know what's weird is I thought that I would lose the Boston accent over COVID. I think it's gotten freaking worse. The longer I go without going to my homeland, the worse it's getting. I mean, okay, so we did a Zoom call with some family members. My son is in Boston. That's where he lives. I've had to accept it. It's year number 6. He went to college for 4 years, had a job last year. You guys don't need to hear this. Where's the punchline, Pickering? Here we go. We do a Zoom meeting. And I say the day before Thanksgiving, hey, want me to set that up? I got a Zoom account. I'm Zooming. And he says, yeah, we're on FaceTime right now, man. You put on a mask. I'm a little concerned. I think you need some sleep. Anyways, he says, no, I want to set up the thing. He is actually living with his girlfriend in at the girlfriend's grandmother's house, which is a very nice house in the suburbs. Not really. It's actually close to Boston. And then with the girlfriend's uncle who's disabled. So he has this little hive of people, and he wants to do the Zoom meeting. And he sends me a text message 15 minutes before the meeting, and he says, hey, we're dressing up for the holiday. What are you wearing? I said, I've just put on pants. I'll go get a jacket. I was like, we were all in jeans. You know what I mean? It was just me and my daughter and my Lutheran, that guy that I married. And we're in the kitchen. And the three of us are, we're not social distancing at all. And our family relationship is that we all argue all the time. That's how we express our love. We argue. And my poor son is sitting with these wonderful people all dressed up for the holiday. And we can see everybody's, we're talking 2 women were wearing dresses, and my son had on a suit coat. And I said, can you stand up? And he says, why do you want me to stand up on the meeting? I said, I want to see if you're wearing sweatpants with the suit coat. Come on, it's 2020. Geez, at least dress for it, But he was great. He had a whole agenda. Have you ever been with a family meeting, like a family event where somebody's got an agenda? He was afraid his mother was going to go crazy because we were meeting these people for the first time. We met the girlfriend. She's just a sweetheart. And I think I scared the crap out of her, but that's okay. I could be a mother-in-law at some point. I could be a prisoner. I don't know. You just don't know with these things. I didn't say anything disrespectful, guys. There's a lot of things I wanted to say. I really would like grandchildren because I'm sick of fucking cats. Thank you. No, I love cats. I dropped the F-bomb. Nancy Kostaki, I'm sorry about the F-bomb if you're still up. And the Zoom meeting was so wonderful. It's great to see my son, but he was controlling things because I could tell he was afraid. Now, I was wearing a T-shirt that had a great big giant turkey on it. And it's from the very first turkey race, Thanksgiving Day race that was in downtown in 1990, okay, because I was 6 then. And there's a story behind that T-shirt, and he wanted me to tell the story. But, as you can tell from tonight, I am never on track. I'm all over the place, right? And it's too funny. So I was afraid these people were going to fall asleep while I told the story of the T-shirt that I was wearing. And I broke mom character and I said, for God's sakes, can we just relax? What's the agenda? You didn't send it to me before the Zoom meeting. And I got everybody laughing so we could just relax. Thank you. A Zoom meeting is nervous enough, right? Because you're all looking at each other. Can you see? I probably should get some eyeliner up here, right? What do you do? Is Elizabeth on? Elizabeth, help me with this. For God's sakes, May. Guys, if you're into eye makeup, help me out, I got the eyeliner down here. Anyways, remember the word flinch. I think we're going to be flinching till we get a damn vaccine. And then the Zoom meeting. Anyways, we had a great time. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I was going to say, it's weird because our daughter's living at home and she's fabulous, okay? But I am not supposed to mother her and overparent because she's a young adult, right? She's an adult. You get nothing worse than being parented when you're living at home with your parents and you're doing all their house cleaning, Yeah. For God's sakes, I'm going on and on. Where's the dick joke, you ask? Yeah, it is. I find it fascinating, that the 90-year-old lady that is in my neighborhood is peppy. She walks with pep in the step, and she carries that sign, wear the mask. And rumor has it she's dating one of the old widower guys down the street. This is why COVID has to end, because I'm getting details about my neighbors I really don't want to know.
Oh, damn.
Okay, I do like the guy. He's got the right signage, if you know what I'm saying. We've got a lot of, this is down in Apple Valley, which, it's south of the Minnesota River. So you just don't know. You don't know if people down here turn on the news and think that things that happened in Minneapolis back in May were real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get it. And, they're still hung up on pampered chef parties and Mary Kay. It's, but it's beyond that. So anyways, I was going to talk about this other thing. I promised my dad I'd do this joke that he wrote for me. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm trying to visit with people. My dad is 80 and he wanted to go for a walk last week, so we had a distance walk. But neither one of us could hear each other because of the stupid masks, right? So we broke the rules. And he wrote a joke for me. He said, I had a geometric dinner. Turkey pie followed by pumpkin pie. He's also an engineer, and I'm the daughter of an engineer. So I laughed like hell when he first told me the joke, and I promised him that I would do this joke. But I will tell you, as the oldest kid of the engineer, there's certain things that you do when your parents are engineers. You know, like when you set up a Christmas tree, you make sure that you've got all your little branches, and you make sure that there's an ornament there, and then right across there's another ornament. and when I was growing up, we put a lot of things on trees you shouldn't do that would damage the environment. The plastic tinsel, okay? The tinsel was a big thing. And we had a lot of engineers in our family. There was both my uncles, my dad, my grandfather, and his brother. And if they were all around the Christmas tree, there'd be these guys going around getting each piece of tinsel lined up. They'd line it up. And that's why the women in the family are alcoholics. Okay? Happy hour started at 4:00. My grandmother would suddenly change from what she called her house cleaning dress to what I would today call, in COVID times, it would be called an evening gown, you know. Oh, it's just a dress. And they would start, her and the aunts, they would start drinking at 4:00 in the afternoon. And the kids would have what I call today the early bird. You always fed your kids early so you could get them out of the way, send them outside to 8:00. And then the guys would come home. And I tried to get my dad to explain, you know, it's very difficult to talk about sex with a parent anyways, but I was dying to know if they let the kids go out and play, because my grandparents were babysitters, is that when everybody went to bed and shacked up and then the kids came home? You know what I'm saying? You guys, it's too much to think about, all these relatives having sex. It's just, it's disgusting. But let me go back to the tinsel. The tinsel thing, to this day, I don't like to see anything straight on a wall. And it's because I grew up in a house where everything, hey, get the slide rule out, you know, let's just do that. But I gotta tell you, my dad could fix things, and he taught me how to, there was certain things that would happen when he wasn't home. I was in 4th grade and the damn toilet broke and he wasn't home. And I looked at my stepmother and I said, I'll fix that. And I lifted the tank, the lid off the tank of that toilet, and I put my hand in and that chain was broken. I got a paper clip, guys, and I put that chain on that little toilet ball thing that's in there that, you know, you flush and everything happens, and I fixed that thing. And I was so damn proud of myself, you know, it was great. So was Dad. I can't believe I'm telling the story after all the dick jokes and the things we're talking about. But, you know, I got clean. So the other thing that's happening is I work with in meeting people and working with the public right now, you never know when they're going to go off on a tangent either, because we're all pressured. It's new things. 2020's brought it out in us. And believe it or not, I've really worked hard on listening. You know, I ask them a question, how do your feet feel? And then they tell me the 5 reasons that they think Jesus Christ is coming back to the earth. No. And I'm like, how are your feet feeling? Can I help you with that? And then it's like, well, what do you think are the reasons that COVID is happening? And I go, well, I think it's a virus, but I don't think there's any virus on your feet. How are they feeling? And I really want to help you with this today, and I need to do it in under 15 minutes or the virus is going to come. According to some of the things I read recently. And I just try to listen, you know, just ask the questions. And a woman that I waited on told me that, and this was right after they had a 4.0 earthquake in Boston 2 weeks ago. She said, you know, your people are upsetting God because they've never had earthquakes in Boston. And I had to tell her that they've been doing that since 1620. That's a Thanksgiving joke. 1620 Pilgrims. Thank you.
You're so adorable. Holy
I
shit.
think I really love you guys. I'm wearing a button that Gretchen N. You all know her. She's not here. I'm wearing this button. Oh, I'm on the wrong side of my own shirt. And there's little eyeballs here. I'll get them up. Oh, here we go. You can't see it. Damn, I don't know how to use my own camera. There it is. It says "Love Yous" on my button. You guys, I do love you. It's great. I hope to see you sooner. I'm trying to do more newer material and write during the week. So I hope to see you soon. And what else was I going to say? If you need shoes, call me. I'm probably going to get written up by HR for that too. So, I have been written. I didn't get written up by HR, but I call them when I send them text messages. When I was doing live comedy, when we had day drinking at Mom out at House of Comedy, I would send them a message and go, "We're going live tonight, but it's very safe and I'm wearing gloves." And I would let them know, so that I was mixing. Okay, I love you guys. I'll stop now. You're the best.
So great.
Thank you.
Happy 600th birthday, you guys. Happy 600th.
Thank you.
This is so
very
awesome.
much. Thank you for being a part of the 600th show.
Thank you. It's been
I
great.
want to thank a couple people before we end the night. I want to thank Jeff and Kat here at Nanotakostudios. They're skeleton crewing it, but give them a round of applause, everybody. Kat and Jeff, thank you so much for being here tonight. And our love goes out to Mercy Victor, who's taking the night off, Harley, Whitney, and Shane. Shane should be here too. But I also want to thank our good friend, Leah Mansfield. Thank you so much for being here all the way from West Hollywood, California. It's so good to see you, Leah. Please join us again. Please, please, please. We do this every week. You know that. So. And thank you to Elizabeth S. They're sticking around. Thank you so much.
I did it. Yay.
And of course, Karen Pickering.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. You're the best.
All right, so who else should I thank? I should thank J Money the motherfucking Hawk. Thank May of the Underground. Thank you, May, for streaming in tonight. We love you.
Always. What are you doing?
I'm just What?
You gotta talk loud enough that Nano Taco Much can hear you.
Fuck it.
Oh.
All right.
Hi.
Well, anyway, there we go. I have a couple things to say to everyone who's watching, who has ever watched the Monday Night Comedy Show, either in person or online. I want to thank you so much for being a part of this. 600 of anything is a lot. It's a good milestone. I think we can do a couple more if you keep watching. So thank you to all the performers over the years who have made up 600 shows. It's just weird to think about. If you think about the greatest comedy show ever, run by Nick Piasek, he has like four shows compared to our 600. I can say that about him because he left.
He's not on the
show. I'm not very good at math.
Right.
Do math. But what I do is host a great comedy show that I have nothing but love for about 95% of the time. So so far our track record is pretty good. So thank you so much for being a part of it. Thank you to anybody who watches the show. We do it because we want to make you laugh, especially during these really shitty times. Please always remember to be safe. Thank you for streaming in. I can go on for another hour. You know me. It's Andy Brynolson. I won't stop talking. But just be kind to each other and yourselves. Make sure you reach out to people who may not have the ability to reach out because, people have trouble asking for help. So offer it. Just be a good friend. All right. See you guys next week for show 601. Join us online. Thank you. Thank you so much. Love you all. Be safe.
Citizens of the planet, the Monday Night Comedy Show is the longest-running comedy showcase in the Twin Cities. Our choices have sometimes been questionable.
This goes out to all those people who didn't believe in me when I was just starting out. Now I'm going viral.
We were once called the weirdest show in town, and over the years, we lost some of that. We're happy to announce that bringing the weird back to the MNCS is an item on our to-do list. We ask that you take a chance and watch us each week at 8 p.m. Central. We're not only going to bring you a safe and fun way to see performers from all over the metro area, but all over the country and the world. We are the Monday Night Comedy Show. We've been doing this for over 13 years, so we almost sort of have an idea of how this works. Stay awesome and see you Monday.